Welcome to Schoenberg Hall. At this time, we ask you to take the time to turn off all electronic devices, including tablets, laptops, and cell phones. A reminder there is to be no flash photography during this performance. Also, please note there are four illuminated exits in this theater, two on the back and two on the sides. In case of an emergency, please proceed to the exit nearest you. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. It's so beautiful to see you all here. And here on Sweetie's Day, we are going to be playing in honor of love. And, and while we're capable of sentimentality, we're not just going to do sentimental love. We're going to do godly love, sisterly love, the end of love, all of that. The love of people, the love of self, the most revolutionary love of all. And love is here on a couple of levels. On the first level, I was playing with the great drummer Ronnie Barrage one day, and he asked me a question that I had never been asked. He said, Salim, who do you really love to play with? And I couldn't answer him right away. I had to really think about it. Well, tonight, I have the pleasure and honor to play with the people that I really love to play with. That's who we have tonight on everything, really. The trumpet, trombone, French horn, my brother from another mother. This cat is very dear to me, and I think he's one of the most important musicians of his generation, which is my generation. Kuumba, Frank Lacey. Can you come up? On drums, we have, like Frank, he's the son of a musician. And have you ever noticed how the sons and daughters of musicians are kind of like advanced? That happens. I'm not the son of a musician, but I've observed this phenomenon. This man is the son of the late, great Roland Alexander, the great saxophonist. And my wife, she pointed out to me, she says, Salim, I noticed something about you. The drummers you really like, they have a little streak in them. Yeah. So we have a great drummer, and he got a little street in him, too. His name is Taru Alexander. On the piano, we have a young woman that I truly love. She's been very important to me when I was living in New York, all of these guys. And she used to be my youngest daughter's piano teacher and, this, that, and the other. She really impressed me because she's one of these really intelligent people. She came to the United States, and she wanted to play jazz. And you know what she did? she went and joined a black church. I was like, she figured it out way from the other end of the world. She's that one, she's that one. She's hardworking, she's beautiful. Her name is Yayoi Ikawa. On bass, we have one of the great bassists of our nation. He's my homeboy from Detroit. And he's not only from Detroit. Yeah, if anybody here from Detroit? He's from the east side. You dig? So it's like that. But more importantly, he comes from a city that has Ralph Armstrong, that has Bob Hurst, that has Jaribu Shaheed, that has Marion Hayden, all these people playing the bass at a very high level. But then, forget about Dirty Doug Watkins and, all of these great bass players. He said, you can stop with this. Paul Chambers, Ron Carter, Detroit bass. You could also say James Jamerson, right? So this cat, he is like all of them, but not like them, because he's got his own thing. He's very soulful, got big bottom, he's clear as a bell. I love him. He's making this band complete. Mr. Rodney Whitaker. So I said there was on two levels. That was one level. The other level is our honored OG of poetry and cultural letters. This man, he really captured my imagination the very first time I read. I think the first one was Benjamin Hornbook. And I was like, man, this guy, he understands the music, and he's able to explain it, and he's able to explain it deeply and delicately and fractally and every other kind of way that is intriguing, but in a way that I can't do, but thank God for him. I guess that's why some people are poets and the rest of us are not. So, this man is magnificent, and the work that he has provided for this collaboration is beautiful, it's haunting. And so it is truly, truly, truly my honor to be in collaboration with the great Nathaniel Mankey.
Took between my lips her cusp of tongues foretaste of heaven, heaven. Took between my lips her cusp of tongues foretaste of heaven, heaven. Took between my lips her cusp of tongues foretaste of heaven, heaven. The womanly horizon rose like rain in reverse. feminine future lifting gravity's law. Above all, it was love we saw. The ladling of river water led into the house of Oshun. It was a song for Oshun we sang. Horns gone hoarse from so much testament. You saw the meeting of dimensions and realms unseen before. No way soon would we see the likes of it again. Notwithstanding, would its like pass our way again? We wondered anyway. The recency, anciency way lay gored but ongoing, the seeds of it shuttling through states of profligacy and reprise. We were Oshuns from inside, bodies abiding, bodies bereft. Love like falling water, falling upward, gravity's law lifting her skirts. Erosive earth under our feet, underneath a cliff edge cut of sky. We were trying to make good on something Thread had said. Conch reconceived as tuba, Hafayati tug at work again. A gyno-futurist array we looked out on, waves and white froth finding fault with the shoreline, the ruffles, the frills on Yemanya's underpants admonitions, though that souls, if not bodies, mate. So spoke we who spoke like birds, eroding witnesses, one with a twig we all stood on. Slide away cliff dirts, consorts, all of us. It wasn't that the birds were right, and it wasn't that the birds were wrong. It was something for the birds might have said. The birds were the birds we all but only said. I was worried my body would burst again. Blood gushed forth from where they carved my thigh bone out. Nubs, transactionality, rub love away. It was a way I had of making dismay matter. Oshun's hymn, whose rummaging scouts we were. The desert's river water we knew as Ruth. What I came to know of it was love, and what I knew of it, I loved. Phil Hill's refugee. I was done with being done with beauty. Sunlight reflected on leaves, the last letting be, the dead saw before being gone. We were hearing the band we'd begun to be, the band we were calling Earth Calling. It wasn't the offshore horns we were hearing. All of that we'd heard before. We were hearing the was that might have been, a future not to be forgotten. Soon come chorusing horns, heterodox desire.
Thank you. The name of that song was Oshun. Oshun is the Orisha of love and sweet waters. Her origins is in the Yoruba pantheon, but she has crossed the ocean. Remember them guys? They took them and threw them in the bottom of the boat, sent them across. Y'all don't remember that? I remember that. And Oshun, the Orisha of love. This song is based upon her appearance in Bahia in Brazil, where there are 11 Oshuns loosed on the land. The next song deals with not godly love, but Ubuntu. Ubuntu, Umuntu, Gabantu. Humanity. A human is a human because of other humans. Right? That's a Zulu proverb. And when I was in Zulu land, I witnessed a horrible sight. I didn't witness the sight firsthand. That probably would have undone me. I saw it on the news. And it's what they call xenophobic attacks. I won't go deep into it except to say this, that there was a man that was burnt alive. And that wasn't even the worst part to me. The worst part to me was that there were people standing around as it happened with their phones out, videotaping it. Can you imagine? Okay, so there's so much to talk about how this happened, why it happened. You know, it's a lot. We don't have time in this format to talk about it except to say that it was horrible, and I couldn't go to sleep. And so I remembered that I was a composer, and I wrote a song that did eventually allow me to go to sleep. And it's called Imililo, which in Zulu means fires. So this is a song that is a protest against the fires, if you will, but also a testament to the love of people, right? Because ironically, the people that were being attacked in these xenophobic sprees were from the very countries that South African freedom fighters found succor in when they were on the lam. So that's another level. Anyway, this one is called Imililo. Oh, let me not stop there because you got a special prize for this one. And we're not going to charge you a dime for it. We have some special guests who are going to come and join us. Well, first, we have some young men who are actually students here. Gael Saidina and Adam Zimmerman. And these guys are great musicians. So they impressed me a lot when I hear them in class. And then I've come to find out that their moral character is good too. You see, like John Coltrane said, when I hear a man's sound, I feel like I know the man. You understand? You can't hide. So I'm making claims about their moral integrity based upon the way I hear them. But even more is the great pleasure of having one of the iconic saxophonists, one of the cats I grew up listening to, even though we're in the same generation. But he was just that bad. You know, as a youngster, he was playing with McCoy, he was making history, you know, and he's still one of the great gentlemen of our tradition. And he's going to join us, Mr. Azar Lawrence. You good? Thank you. I'm looking for my chart, which has disappeared. I don't believe it. Oh, here it is. Okay, please forgive me. Is it here? Okay. Is it here? Yes, yes. Thank you. Okay, Emililo. 1, 2.
It was what light there was of scavenging again. A raft of memory kept us afloat. A book of soap, so reminiscent of light's naked smell. The sky's hygienic drapes, aromatic binding and spine. We lay lost in hypothetical skin smells and hair. The undraped book of souls, reminder of skin that lain close to. Many an isthmic place we visited lay in front of us now. We were down in Black Mountain, back on Long Coast. We were everywhere and anywhere at once. It was as much the morning Ithamar saw himself die as any other morning, and we his dogs and his boys followed suit. We saw ourselves evaporate into an insolvency it suddenly was. Late dawn and the putative day out in front. Every journey turned out to be only a spin. All it was we had taken a ride. Aging away, we met a two-headed snake and a knock-kneed dancer. Tight beadwork, so tight we saw only that, held and beheld by it holding death. As with a life to look back on, the daily round grew so plied it exploded. Such the way of so, the working of so. We went so quick from journey to joyride. The lost beloved whose return we were to be, or to involve or invoke were not issueless. An example of already there and of long since perilous retrospect. We sat waiting for the worst, it seemed. The world up in flames, as had been warned and prophesied. Warning of prophecy and accelerant. Warning and prophecy in cahoots. We sat seeming unable to stop it. The weight of the slave states, the weight of top dollar. We on the auction block, the election's gimme. So well had warning and prophecy done their work. Calling ourselves the Ixnay Choir, calling ourselves the unuprootable root. We thought ahead. We thought ahead, hoping to affirm it to death, the catastrophe we awaited, awaiting us. So proceeded a low slogan beneath it all. The beloved we were to be gone with, forgotten. The night sky's fiery wheels smoking above. What an opportunity drawing breath was, we were thinking. Death, not an afterlife, but not being. Unconsciousness, never coming to. So not happening, all the pages lay flat inside the book of so. The would-be book of so. Or the book of not so. Nominative naming only what won't actually might, but will not. Not. A certain so, not even whose wasn't. was. We now knew the moment to end all moments wasn't what we were after. We hadn't been so clear on that before. We were coming in from where code was all there was to it. Code, the exact it of it. It's it, the exactitude of code. It was from that we were coming in. That we were coming in. Coming in the two in one we let go without noting. We were all wearing hospital socks, but trudging on, undeterred. Socks without whose traction we'd have slipped off the sphere we were said to be on. What said curvature, the boon we so wished for, but treacherous. Too many differentials to take hold. Curried crocodile on an elephant leaf was our repast. A wordless world we made believe we believed in. A worldless word as well we made up as we made our way. Where test and tasting met, we came in from code's exactness. Catterbox Gnostics telling us how hard it was to tell. At the crossroads, blind lemon Yaka plucked at stringless lute. Love's colloquy, rummaging lust and deliverance, quality such as it was. Early life and its promise had passed, and we beat back tears. Push come to shove, tick came to shoot, more often than not. No word but shit for the shit we were going through. An evaporative trek along an evaporative trail is all it amounted to. Up, no sooner up than up in smoke. But the birds were of the mind it ran otherwise. Did or would or should all at once. The birds who were there for just that. It was as the mattering of matter squirmed under our scrutiny again. We absconded with the code we came in from, carriers as well as outcome. The sun did rise, dawn did come, the birds did chirp outside our windows. Their tweeted refrain touched on the brevity of life, allotting what soul was. They tweeted brevity as a virtue, bird beat palpitation, no matter how long. We had it to where our hands were coming from the code, and our feet were coming from the code, and our bodies and minds and everything else were burning with coming from the code without us having any idea about it. Coming from the code burned and was burning. It was to where we downed the burning. Too hot potion that lay in our mouths. One we could never wholly swallow, nor ever spit out. Helicopter blades harvested a certain thickness the air got, and grasshoppers peeped at all, maybe having planted it there. Meanwhile, the arc of the moral universe kept taking hits, bent by a hang glider attack, and by Gaza blown to bits, and by the indicted former president's possible return. We watched it all under glass, or in back of glass, a museum display. Reached through glass, though we tried but fell short, stubby fingers against it again and again. Emililo.
Mr. Mackey, how you feeling?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Would you
All
like
right.
to say a couple of words to the people?
Well, it's nice to be back in Southern California.
We happy you back. I do love the fact that Mr. Mackey has soldiered through to be able to do this performance tonight. And we're so happy for Luis and Aiden and Jose and all of the cats that has been making the sound come and that is making Mr. Mackey appear before us like science fiction.
The Wizard of Oz.
We do love it. We do love it. We're going to try a song called You Can Fly. And just a little bit about how it began. You know, songs have a life and they're fractal. They're never, as in never ever, about one thing only, exclusively. It's not possible. But anyway, I come from a religious family, and my daddy is a preacher. He got to the point where he can't even walk really, and he still don't want to let go of preaching. And he's a true believer. Everybody going to hell but him. Simple and plain. So I wish I was making this up. But one of my sisters, she loves women, right? It's like that. And yeah, but daddy ain't trying to have it. He ain't trying to have it. But it's gotten so vicious that he don't speak on it. He pretends that he's oblivious rather than to deal with confronting one of your offspring potentially as an equal, right? Anyway, it's a deep thing in my family, so my sister, she was feeling kind of bummed out about it, I can tell you. And one day I had the inspiration, you can fly, you dig? And I wrote a song, and it has that name. And the idea is reaching for liberation in certain types of ways. Sometimes they say home is where the hatred is. And how do you deal with hatred? How do you make yourself realize it's there? Well, hopefully this song will give us some clues. Certainly the words will.
Her tongue he took to his and spoke, and his tongue she spoke to hers and spoke. Tongue tip to spine tip, soon and sooner come. Kundalini coil, come undone. Inside themselves, they saw a Persian miniature, noses wide with worshipful regard for labial musk. Nose, now surprising yes, translated up. The Book of Souls pages lay open like legs. The binding took and tied it all in. Annuncius between her legs at her, at Annuncio high once more, his and her eternal return. The Book of Soul lay flung to the floor. The grasshopper helicopter lifting off presaged it all. Biblical locus and anthropophagus books own heaven. Grasshopper helicopter biblical locus had nothing on it. Rivulets of lamb fat ran in Homo sapiens' place. It wanted to say something about rack and refuge, and it wanted to say something more. All praises to Pill Hill, we implicitly intoned. All praises to the flats, we implicitly intoned as well. The confected field, Claire's tight behind, was the center of, rayed out everywhere, concentrated inside rack, but not contained, athwart the abomination known as nub. I sat as though on call or on alert. Implicit intonation so had hold of me. I'd have walked the bar had I had a horn. Nub's Dobbsian war on women had me so upset. I'd have walked the bar not to impress Claire, or not only to impress Claire. Nub's Dobbsian war on women so thick it needed to be cut. I was Williams wanting the female principal's rescue. Willis Jackson playing Nothing like Thother or Bolita. Against the Komodo dragons among us. Against the Confederacy's would-be return. The would-be coup in back and in front of us. Against the massacres to come. It was the world versus what went on in one's head. One's head against itself, notwithstanding. Why save the planet to maim and kill one another on it? The millet beer swashed around, asking on the sly. The critical deads, mediumistic splash. I sought refuge in a shot of scotch, beer-born voices chased and borne away. All one to us was a lodging on one's tongue. Claire's beaming smiles, exoteric doctrine stewarded it all. Esoteric tale such that something of the long night lounge hazarded broad daylight. A fleeting thought of mat light tangled in underbrush, ablated all abrasion, all avoidance, all enmity, all spite, all one to us, all a witch. It was all of an afternoon's repair. Copper light caught in the woods outside the tavern. Spectral amanuenses crowded the surrounding earth. Skeleton rendered skeletone. The Pill Hill avalanche's skeletonic toll. It wasn't that Claire's tucked away pudendum was the recondite sun, suffusing it all. It wasn't her blue-jeaned buttocks animating it as well. Such was the crux we had all come through getting there, we knew, and no one would not know, a fleeting thought of which could not but gird us all. It wasn't always polis against pubis, and it wasn't all pubis against polis, but it was polis against pubis, though the word all rolled off our tongues. There was only the one war, we wanted to say. Only the one revelation. A salty sweetness, always there, but unavailable, colored one's thoughts ever after, and exactly where there were none. She for whom I'd have died stood wide-eyed and innocent. She and I yet to be the we we'd be. A feather's weight was all there was between us. A susceptible is, a susceptible ain't. A faint leaning in of soul. Susceptibility itself without question or qualm. We were each the other's elsewhere, not yet having met. Felt for each other across mile after mile, there but not there, whatever there was or would be. Probabilistic her, probabilistic me. A feather's touch, the feather we were of, was all there was between us. Haptic splatter that we not sustain in abeyance, no longer ours to do otherwise. So at least sang the singer, so at least went the song. Such the one salve there was, silence's drive-by held at bay, to say or a song like milk or butter gone bad. Else the only where we'd meet, were we to meet, else to itself it would be, or try to be, imply or implicate at least. Or else it was on the tips of our tongues when we dreamt it so and went to speak, when part wish, part where, else coincident with where, song or say tangential. As if it was ours to seek or say, the we we'd be stood teetering, lost in one last embrace, no sooner there than gone. Where's elseness dictated such, made it so. Jesse Belvin on the box and back of us. Music's ephemeral elsewhere, a closeness not to be had. If by had one meant to say felt. So at least was the way we were told, the way it was told to us, a certain page in the book of soap. Not since the days of the book had it been so out in the clear for us to see, so up front. Not to mention our bodies now, so not what they were, what they once were, what they had been. My mother's post-argumentative, it was what it was, kept at me. A lesson death instilled. Its flatness toward my core, its resignation, the is of its it, so resigned I wept, upset it wasn't her at all. So without skin, so to say, in the game anymore, it made mourning become devotional. A buildup of music all our lives readied us for it. Beloved's awaited return, axiomatic, deferred or frustrated, no matter. A soon come baldaquin, protecting it all. Puff's transcendence of hair decried the movement of troops, the vein of us Andumbu, a keepsake nation inuring itself, the end moving in like fog. What to say, what it was, and how to say it. Songs default on say, long noted, never to be caught flat or sharp. A round sound with no attitude in it, we aspired to. Sophia to Nub's puff, Beta, Parveen, hollowness and hair apostrophized. It was all one to us again, not so much mystical as indifferent, or having come to be done with. A town square, somewhere anonymously in Spain, we pulled into and circled. Ay Cariño, starting up on the box, an older recognizance insisting it be heard. What it was and what to say, how to say it. This, the conundrum we grew big on, or big with. No riders more undumbulos than us. So it was, we chugged along, mental witnesses, cool, forbidding sweat, a clerical book of soap out in front of us. My mother knew it all already. Sophia's emboldenment spoke to her still, no matter the rising above hollow and hair, he avowed, transforming this or that sorry life, its one portfolio, Agent Cat. My mother's omniscience made me happy sad. She was neither happy nor sad, but beyond both, and beyond, no beyond, but abstract assumption. My feet felt frostbitten still, some kind of nerd church tithe, my mother explained, who had not much been one for church. So unfeeling, I limped. Each foot hit the floor with a would-be thud, an electric charge run up my leg like stolen fire, pain's aggrieved alchemy, only more pain. Each foot was only ice cubes packed in a Ziploc bag. Numbnesses lifted, let back down, and left in a row, which was now what went for walking. To walk was an inward flame going out, mounting ever after until it was gone. Only to speak with Dr. Dream, word and worn cloth, led me along. Holy haunches looked at through threadbare cotton, buttock, emboldenment, vestiges of bodily feeling, otherwise lost.
Are you feeling loved? Are you loving feeling? I feel like my whole career, what a funny word, as a composer, has been writing about love. And I've been married 3 times. So I feel like I can write about love. 3rd time is the charm. I don't want to disappoint the rest of y'all. But they gave me the facts of life when I was a young man trying to be a musician. You know, being vetted by musicians is different from being vetted by professors. And the hazing rituals are different. The pedagogical methods are different. The whole epistemology, truth be told, is different. You dig? And so when I was a young man, the old head said, "Son, you are too raggedy to be a musician." Do you have a black suit? No, sir. You know, you don't have a uniform. Today, a black suit would be corny, but there is still a uniform. I always tell my students when they walk in, they should know which one is the musician. They shouldn't be confused about that. Then the other piece of advice he gave me, he said, man, marriage, forget about it. You're going to have that. I'm on my third marriage. And I thought, you know, that was ridiculous, being a church boy and all of that. But anyway, life has made it such that I have occasion to write the next song that we're going to do for you. And this one takes its title from the third book in the Neveronia series by Samuel Delany, the great science fiction guru. And it's called Beneath the Bridge of Lost Desire. And maybe somebody out there know what I'm talking about. Let me see.
Many hands had been wrung, and many a beard stroked and tugged as we plotted and reconfigured another way out. Still a bit of holiness lay by the wayside. We remembered Nub's ninth board, Atlantis, and we bowed our heads again. It was all a dream or the gleam of something we saw, the very glint or the gristle, deep chew we masked wanting back in. It all got back to being how it was, how it had been, an interregnum fooling no one. To think otherwise or abide by the mores of the realm stood before us, the proverbial fork or the proverbial fox to spin out. Would you tug my belt? Every man among us asked every woman. Every man among us was asking every woman, are you my Ruth? Because we wanted to live in love, we were calling Nub names. Ass-happy Nub, we were calling it. We were calling Nub shoot-em-up Nub. We were calling it death, calling all into question. Time was an inexplicable solvent no matter. Every woman among us asked every man, am I your Ruth? Every woman among us asked every man, shall I tug your belt? Hendrix's Ladyland, it might have been, or it reminded one of, but more. I was back to being a little boy. Onions my siblings gave me to slice made me cry. Because I wanted to live in love, I kept at it. So ran the prolegomena, our heterodoxy was. Wafted musk from under the bed cover and sheet suggested their between their legs largesse, sweet beast of lore and of lofty love talk, of knowing, not having to be told where to touch, the haptics of ass crack and crotch. Redundant instruction excited them, they found out, fooled around and found out, each the other's teacher, needed or not. The boy mathematician equated the smell with the sound he'd heard a trombone make. Maybe timbre more than sound. Could the two be taken apart? Which it had to be, they could. It was desire's timbral equation, an olfactorix of want, and of need even, a determinate adder, the it of Kuhn's it, a bass bird singing. Loin and buttock but attar on their hands they grew delirious with. Neroli or sandalwood, the closest they could guess. Vetiver's olfactic brass as they caressed. They had worn cashmere, cotton and silk while they wore anything, nothing shortly after he walked in. Her apartment lay lit by Paul Bley on the box. The piano's chorded collapse, anabatic. New wood they set out in. Trunk, underbrush, branch, what was what.
All right. Okay, now, can I be philosophical just a little teeny bit? No? Yes? Okay. I have to ask my students sometimes. Do silent mean yes or do silent mean no? I forget. This is our penultimate piece. This one is very personal, and it's an attempt to allow myself to shine through no matter my insecurities or whatever may come. This one is called Self-Love. And for me, self-love doesn't mean, like narcissism a la Orange People or something like that. It's like, it's something that is deeper, by which I mean self-love allows me to love others better. And self-love, in my case, I'm walking around in a big black body, for over 60 years, so I know something about it. I'm not supposed to be happy. I'm not supposed to love myself. The system is not designed that way. And there are many things. Did I tell the truth that time? The preacher say, touch somebody. Say he got that right. And I refuse to be a pessimist. I'm sorry, if that means I'm not in the cool people's club, I guess I'm just not there. I believe in black love. I believe in love. I believe in humanity. I believe in all of that. And because of that, who was it? Kendrick. He said, I love myself, Don't get it twisted. I love myself. This may be happening, that may be happening, you know, but I love myself. Trust me, he say. I think he say, trust me. I love myself. So I have been trying for decades to learn how to love myself, and this is part of my journey because, like I said, the programming is deep, and the people who are most programmed are the ones who refuse to believe that they are. You dig? So I'm searching for a revolutionary ontology, a notion of being that is based upon love. That's what I'm after, and that's what this song is about. Self-love, revolutionary ontology.
To turn damage into a dance, a miscue, a misstep into a move, so that something we were still calling muse flow as it would, a mishap, a mistake, into a step. No matter, we saw no news of soul allayed, no tawil carried it back if what we read and saw was true, which it was. The Nublicans were binding rods around an axe. To unbind it was our grunt, blunt its edge. A bay leaf darkened in the stew, cooking over the campfire. We had moved farther in, away from the roadside. Respite awaited us there. What said root, trunk, and foliage intimating our next move. Sassafras bark made us a tea we now sat sipping, knees up to our chests, more squatted than sat. A woodpecker pecked away at the trunk of a cedar tree not far from us. Muhal's bird song beginning south of us in St. Andrew Parish, even if only to an incarnate ear beyond hearing, an incorporeal box infinitesimally recessed. We were hearing what said susurration, riffled foliage and stems, ask and answer what to do, to be other than on the receiving end of slaughter. What were we to do? So unreal it seemed. Bibulous what say? The woods drunk, and all else drunk as well. As if croon, as if canister, as if beak bottomed out forsook chalice, as if we'd have also been. We too were as if and what if as well. A ghost tribe and a ghost revival come back before leaving. Ixnay what say? Negative dialectic. No one could tell us otherwise. We too seemed as if what if'd. Some somethings made or imagined we. A certain something we were calling Jah. A metastatic tumor was growing on my spine. I saw it on the screen at the drive-in movie my mother took me to when I was 12. A crustaceous creature pulled out of a man's back was proverbial fear itself. Enough so it startled me, and I gasped and my mother smiled at it scaring me so. 60-some years later, fear itself was mongered fear, Nublican incitement. My tumorous correlative, I couldn't help thinking, were there one, or the need for one? Which though there wasn't, I couldn't help thinking. Like it or not, we were in the wind, as if and what if ever after, with no particular place to be and no particular reason to be there. This too, insofar as we were calling job. Like it or not, I was as much in the wind as anyone, as if, what if, wind afflicted. So just said more than we ever could we only abide. I was losing the use of my body. I could not but abide. Way none, like it or not, we were in the wind, as if and what if ever after, with no particular place to be and no particular reason to be there. This too, insofar as we were calling job. Like it or not, I was as much in the wind as anyone, as if, what if, wind afflicted. So Jah said more than we ever could we only abide. I was losing the use of my body. I could not but oblige. I had taken one more cut than Osiris, more than likely to come. Guitars, violins, and double basses held swing. Strings tied to our feet gave off a suggestion of holding us back. It all proved only to be a mnemonic, neuropathic muscle memory. The Nublican gunposts, shoot 'em up to come, tugged at the outside edges of our eyes. It was high noon, but none of us would have known. Velvet drapes closed as they were. It was all numb, crumbs to us, whether we stayed or escaped. Long since inured, long since bastard recruits. We were living through Nub's white supremacist reboot, would-be reboot. We were not yet there. Only insofar as we were not yet there were we the awaited we. To say as much, we were calling catechistic. Only insofar as we were not yet there was there. To say this, we also called catechistic. We knew where we were, such as it was, only insofar as we were not the awaited we. Whatever we said spoke to an awareness we occupied, or that occupied us. Insofarity we called saying so, insofarians all. Such that we were well into the provinces of so that, sharp algebraic term. Had we been a band, the band we were had long since been an optic ontet, an ontic octet, ways of looking woven into ithm, atom, tone. Music meant consequence, gone after gotten and gone gotten, as hesitant as anywhere else. Hesitation was nothing now if not form, an inoculant flourish, as if it was style we've been talking about all along.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one more time. You having a good Sweeties Day? I sure am. I feel your love. We love you madly, as Duke Ellington would say. We love you madly because without you, we are just mathematicians. For us to be musicians, there has to be this loop between you and us. I ain't got nothing against mathematics. I like mathematics. But I like music too. And these are the people that I love to play with, and you are the people I love to play for and with. Thank you so much. We did 5 songs because Oshun's special number is 5, and she is the Orisha of love. But with your kind permission, we want to end with a coda. And this is a coda by John Coltrane. And befitting ending after Oshun is called After the Rain. So our final programmed utterances will be over John Coltrane's After the Rain. Thank you so much. We love you madly.
I dreamt we kissed after a 3-year prelude, a 3-year plague. Let the angels argue, I woke up shouting, odd for me to say. All it was against as such. An asynoptic recycling filed high and rising. Wind chimes were traps I got up knowing. A kiss, no longer only a kiss. All was all but itself, I stepped out of bed knowing. The long work of having arrived, hardly begun. An octet awaiting the end of time. We, the eight-limbed beast of two backs, had been the night before. Me and she, who lay asleep still. The soul of it all, it seemed. All, so all but itself. An eloquent book, so. Brother B and Dr. D lay as lovers. The love of each other's inner thigh, the beehive it was. The etymologic leg in the sky also had them going. Lifted legs, foretaste of heaven. Everybody had been talking about heaven. Heaven. Heaven was what the buzz was about. Dr. D's knees and eventually her legs pointing skyward, a prelude, if not heaven itself. Took between her legs his additional legs' ambrosial touch. Dr. D kept thinking, heaven's heart of thunder, its opposite, after all. A storm, they would afterwards call it, attuning themselves to meteorological tides, the primordial ocean the sky once was, and was now, once again. All because the two musics waved at each other passing by. One without words, one without instruments. Two musics even were ink or lead and paper called instruments. Two musics too, even so. Each was a singing of strokes and scratches, a haptic emporium, what one or the other would admit. All and only what? Long known, but not let in.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We love you madly. We love you madly. Thank you. Woo! We love you madly. Yes. Yes. Gael Sidina, Adam Zimmerman, Azar Lawrence, Kauma Frank Lacey, Carew Alexander, Rodney Whitaker, Yoyoi Ikawa. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Khalid Washington. Khalid Washington.
We'll take a bow. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Lonley, what's up, dog? All right, my man. That's my main man right there. Okay, thank you so much. We love you. Thank you.